Arguably, the most basic and important method you need to know how to do for amigurumi is how to work in the round, and specifically working in continuous rounds. So basically working in a spiral that continuously grows outward if you need it to get bigger, or just goes in a circle up, so that you can make items as round as you want them to. The simplest way to get this started is to use a chain 2. You'll also see patterns that call for a magic circle, which there's another tutorial on how to do that, if you're interested in using that method. But anytime they call for a magic circle, you can also replace it with a chain 2 and just work your entire first round into that second chain. It will have the same result. So if you're not comfortable with the magic circle, or don't want to learn anything else new right now, which I can understand, this method works just great too. So you have your 2 chains on the hook. And let's just say we're going to make a 6-stitch circle that's just going to start to get bigger. So into that second chain, we're going to work our first round. And in this case, that means we're going to work 6 SCs. So we're going to work all 6 of those into that second chain. Now, that chain should be nice and stretchy because it's on the end of our slip knot there. So we have 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we could just kind of keep tugging on that to make that hole as big as we need it to fit as many stitches in there as we need to. So now that we've got our 6 stitches, we can grab that tail and pull it tight so that these kind of pull together into a circle. So there's our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're going to keep going in that round, just starting in on that very first stitch again. Oops. And we're going to work 2 stitches into this stitch now, because this round needs to be slightly bigger than the previous one in order to make our circle grow. So we're going to work 2 stitches into each stitch, or we're going to work an increase into each stitch is what is the more formal method, or more formal way to say that. So we're going to work 2 stitches into this one. That's the 3rd stitch, or 3rd increase. This is 4. 5. And 6. Now we have 12 stitches in our round. You can keep tugging on that center tail there. 12 stitches in our round, and you can see our circle starting to get bigger. So we need to keep increasing, but we're going to increase in a factor of 6. We have 12 stitches. That means we need to do an increase in every other stitch this time in order to get 6 increases in this next round. So we're going to do an SC, and then an increase, SC, and then an increase. That's 2, SC, and an increase. That's 3, SC, and an increase. That's 4, SC. Oops. Yanked my yarn right, or my hook right through my yarn there, didn't I? And an increase. And SC. And an increase. So we added 6 new stitches by adding 6 increases. We now have 18 stitches around, where we started with 6 in the middle. And then the second round had 12, and now the third has 18. You can see how this just keeps on going, just like this. Because we didn't slip stitch at the beginning of each round, it means we don't have a line where that round is going to end, but it also might make it kind of hard to keep track of those beginning rounds. So I'm also going to recommend that you mark your stitches. So you can get funky stitch markers like what I've got, or you can use a paper clip or a bobby pin, or just about anything really, or even just another small piece of yarn. And then what I like to do, goodness, my nails are short, is loop it around that first stitch. So here's our first stitch. And I like to loop it around the post of that stitch. Oh my goodness, I cannot see. That way I can still work into that stitch easily, but it is now marked where it is. Now as I keep going, I can move my stitch marker up to the first stitch of every round. That way as I'm going around, I don't lose my place. My poor toucan is facing the wrong way. And there you go. That's how you work in continuous rounds. Thanks for watching a Hook by Kati tutorial video. Please click subscribe and click that little bell so you get notifications every time I post a new video. And remember to go to hookbykati.com for more patterns, tutorials, and guides to help you improve your art.